Hi, I'm Cam Dolan. I play back row. I'm from Life University in Atlanta, Georgia.
Cam, you've been in the East Midlands for for a few weeks now. How are you finding it?
It's pretty good. Surprisingly, the weather's actually better here than it is back home. So, that was a bit of a change, but so far so good.
Was it almost like coming into tropical sunshine and very warm in comparison to the weather? Because we've seen it all on the news here in the UK.
Well, being from South Florida, it's a little different, but it's not too bad of a change. It's not too drastic, I would say.
Are the lads making you feel welcome?
Yeah, extremely welcome. From day one, everyone introduced themselves, showed me around. They've been helping me out. So it's all's been very good.
You're, of course, our second American at the club at the moment, with Manoa having been here for a couple of years. How's he helped you make the transition, and also was it a bit of an influence in you making the decision to come here?
Yeah, he was definitely an influence in me coming here. I came to visit with him when the USA team came to London, and I've been living with him for the last 10 days I've been here. So he's been kind of showing me around town, kind of letting me get my bearings. So that's really helping.
How are you finding life with the 4 little Manoa children?
Well, technically 3.5, I guess, if you want to count it, since his wife is pregnant and due here in a few months. But they're definitely a handful, but they're fun to be around and bring positive energy all the time.
You say you're a back row. Obviously, people might have seen you play 8 against the New Zealand Maori. You got a lot of decent reviews for that game and a man of the match performance. How would you describe the way that you play?
I like to fly around. I'm tall and long, so I kind of use that to my advantage. My father was a high jumper growing up, so I think genetically, I'm able to get up in the air easily and use my frame. So that's kind of what I use to my advantage. Growing up in the States, you play a lot of different variation of sports. So we tend to come from athletic backgrounds, as you can see with Samu. He's definitely a different breed of player, that's for sure. So some big shoes to fill, and hopefully I can do my job.
You're obviously coming in, and you've been training already with the likes of Tom Wood, obviously England captain last summer, and with the Six Nations squad, and Callum, who's captaining the Saxons this weekend. Are you starting to learn things already? Yeah,
definitely. We've had 5 or 6 trainings, with those guys, and from day one, it was definitely a bit of a step up, but I think I'm finding my ground pretty quickly, and hopefully I can help the team here.
What made you want to join the Saints?
To be honest with you, I came here as an under-18 with Team USA, and we actually played Northampton's under-18, and we got our tails whooped. And just looking at the club and looking how they carried themselves in the city, I've been kind of a fan since then. So it's even that much bittersweet to come here and be able to play.
The Viva Premiership is shown in the States, on Fox Soccer Plus. Were you watching games before you came over to kind of scope out what the tournament was going to be like?
Yeah, I was. In fact, they actually play quite a few Northampton games. They're almost on every week there. So luckily I was able to kind of catch up with the team I was about to go join. So that's big too.
Talk about rugby in the US. Obviously Samu came over from San Francisco. You've come from Life University in Georgia. That's several thousand miles between clubs. Yeah. What are the good things? What are the things that you think can improve in the US club rugby scene?
I think at the university level, it's really starting to excel, and I think that's we're starting at a younger age, and I think that's really what's going to be key for us in development as a rugby nation. It's been hard over the last few years because players don't really start until they're 19, 20. So we have a lot of high school programs and even under 12s, under 8s starting. So I think that's key. I think in order for Americans as well to turn into, or America as well to turn into a rugby playing nation, we need just coaching. We need good coaching. A lot of times coaching can be a little iffy, and players learn bad mechanics from an early age. Those carry on later on. So I think learning the basics early is really key.
And also having the likes of yourself, Samu, Chris Wiles, all playing here in England. There's a couple playing in France as well, and having that experience at, in the big leagues almost must have a positive knock-on effect as well. Yeah,
definitely. Whenever it's in the press and stuff, younger kids see that and they realize that they can actually make a living and carry on playing rugby after college is over, and not just play men's club a couple times a week.
Tell us something about yourself that people might not necessarily know.
I'm an avid scuba diver, and I'm real big into spearfishing and lobster diving.
Does that come from your South Florida background?
Yeah, I think a little bit. Growing up near the beach, you know, traveling down to the Keys and stuff. Parents had a boat growing up, so you know, it was kind of my way to let go of the world, and you know, it's a little different down there, so it's nice to just shut everything off and you know, be at one with the environment, I guess.